The God of all creation wants us free in the year 2023. So I come to you this morning to share a word from the Lord. He wants us to begin to process the power of the altar. He wants us to begin to understand how altars have been erected in our lives and how they can be erected in our homes to bring about His blessing, His riches, His glory. But before we can establish a righteous altar in our homes, in our lives, in our businesses, we must first know how to dismantle the unrighteous altars that have been established in our bloodline, in our generational background, in our great-grandfather's lifetime, in our grandmother's lifetime, in our father's lifetime. We must know how to dismantle them so that when we go to the courts of heaven, we go to Him with clean hands and a pure heart, asking Him to overturn and overthrow those patterns, those cycles that have been in our lives, rooted and grounded from the beginning of our ancestors who did not understand, or maybe they understood but ignored the laws of the Lord. So we must go back and we must begin to dismantle these unrighteous altars that have been established in our lives. And so breaking free in the year 2023 is going to be a very real thing for those who have established those altars, those righteous altars, who have restored the ancient past, who have gone to the courts of heaven and asked God to remove and dismantle and totally destroy the unrighteous altars that have been established in our lives. Whether you have established it or I have established it in our lives, we must dismantle them and we must restore the ancient paths, the ways of God. So I want to invite you to enroll and break free, understanding the power of altars. In this session, you will learn to identify things that have been set up in your life, things that can keep you from moving forward, issues, circumstances that have kept you in a pattern, kept you circling around mountains, not having the answer fulfilled in your lifetime, not hearing and reaching your destiny that God has for you. It's time. It's time to dismantle the unrighteous altars that have been set up in our life from our great-grandfathers. We must do it in 2022 so that we can move forward in 2023. In the year of Gamel, it's a time where the law of sowing and reaping will take place. It's going to be a very, very unusual time. It's going to be a time in which we must be righteous before God to perform those things that He has called us to do from the womb of our mothers and at the seed of our fathers. We must begin to unravel and dismantle these unrighteous altars so that we can get our prayers sent forth into the courts of heaven, so that we can petition and get the enemy off of our ground. He has legal right as long as we do not understand how to operate in the spiritual realm in the courts of heaven. So I invite you to break free in the year 2023. I pray that you will hear what I am saying, because God has been preparing us and leading us up to this point. We have been healed as a wounded rider. We have learned about the family connection, prophetic relationships, and now we want to transition into breaking free. I pray that you join me. Shalom.